How are you, Ed? Welcome back, Ed. You tell him, Ed. Tell him that. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back once again to the Watch Market Update Show. You know, ladies and gentlemen, before I get into anything regarding the Watch Market Update Show, I want to ask all of you for a favor. All of you for a favor. Give us a thumbs up, that we're doing a decent job, and getting our subscribers out there, on top of things, finding out what's happening out there, let us know that we're doing a good job, with a thumbs up or a like or or subscribe or a comment, a nasty, a nasty comment, whatever it is. We really don't mind, So just help us out with that, right, guys? Guys, I want to tell you a couple of things. The first thing I want to tell you is that gold, gold. I keep on telling you about gold because I'm a big fan of gold. So I'll keep on rapping to you guys about gold. It's at $3,313 an ounce. It's unbelievable. I've never seen gold so high in my life. I've never. Yes, right now it's acting a little bit, like that, but it's nothing big. Monday morning will probably be at 3,500, So, but I just want to let you guys know what's happening with gold, just in case you guys are following gold as I am following gold, all right? Just to let you know. Our second topic that I want to share with you guys out there is, I don't know, I'm not a fan of this. I'm not an advocate, at all. I'm not promoting it, but I do get a lot of messages and all that stuff, and I read into it, and the people they're buying it, they really interest me. How's that? Not Bitcoin, but the people that are doing the buying, they interest me. And I want you guys to know, if you guys are fanatics of Bitcoin, if you are, just so you can hear this, I know I told you guys that BlackRock and his trifecta team, State Street and Vanguard and BlackRock have been, just, getting as much as they can on Bitcoin. And for the last, 29 days, they've been buying Bitcoin. So they're loading up on that. And so I don't know much about it. Maybe you guys can give me a tip on Bitcoin. Maybe I should know something that I don't know, But I do know that these three elephants, like I told you, BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard, they're buying a lot of Bitcoin, a lot. I'm talking about mucho Bitcoin. So if you guys know something, please pass it along to me. All right, guys? Also, I want to talk to you a little bit about another subject, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I talked to you guys about that I did a video 6 months ago. 6 months ago, I did a video on watches that are being cloned, are being cloned and are being replicated, to just pretty close, very very close. And I did that video like 6 months ago, and it didn't have much interest from my platform, not my subscribers, my platform, because if they want, they just you know down, and it didn't have much. It had like around 1,300 views and little likes and little comments on that, and but you're not gonna believe this because this is crazy. When I see things, I pass it along to you guys because I can see the way it's behaving. The way it's behaving means that a lot of people are looking at the video, and at this moment, in the last 48 hours, this video has already. If you haven't seen it, take a look see at it. It's very interesting. You should look at it. It has 3,400 views. I mean, this is a very small organic watch channel. So to me, 3,400 views is unbelievable. It's like the people that I know that they do branding and marketing and all that stuff. They told me, hey, listen, an organic channel that gets 3,400 organic views is the equivalent of getting those fake 340,000 views. So I'm getting that. So maybe you guys should go take a look at that video. It's very very good for you guys. All right, take a look see at it. Things are nice. There's something else that I also want to talk to you guys about. There's a gentleman that he's in the other side of the world. He's unbelievable. This gentleman, he has George Clooney looks. He's just a little overweight. Nothing bad with that. I'm not saying nothing bad about that. But he has Hollywood looks. He's unbelievable. He resembles George Clooney, just a little bit overweight. And it has come to my attention. That he is dumping his watch collection, that he's selling everything, that he says that now that YouTube is over, he's letting go of everything. Sweet Kid Kino passes me what I should read, what I should say, and I do it. I'm the voice, Kino is the brains. So he told me that gentleman, which I take full responsibility in calling him the George Clooney of the, real far down there, the kangaroos, where those kangaroos are at, that guy, he's unbelievable. And so he's getting rid of his watch collection. All right. Also, today's a big game. If we have any Oklahoma Thunder fans out there or Indiana Pacers, there's a big game coming up today at 8 p.m. I believe. I want to go take a look-see at it. I wish both teams good luck. Both teams. If you have a couple of nickels in the game, good luck to you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, I did a video today on what I told you that I would do. I was going to do a video on all these watches that Rolex subbed out to different parts of the world so they can do some of their watch parts. I did it today. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I did it because I did a live stream, and you guys couldn't see the pictures very well. They were very foggy, they were not focused, lottie. And I did the video for you guys so you guys can see the different countries where they were being produced. But as you know, ladies and gentlemen, this is with all honesty. I gotta be honest with you guys. I've always been honest, and I'm gonna continue being honest with you guys. You know, Rolex is the king, and they're untouchable. Rolex is the king. You know, no matter what they tell you, Rolex is the king, and they can do whatever they want. You know, Rolex. This conspiracy theorist is going on his fifth week, and Rolex has not addressed the subject. But the craziest part, I already told you that newspapers, radios, TVs, you know, ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, CNN, nobody's gonna talk about that. But the crazy thing is that us watch connoisseurs, we love to look at watch magazines, you know, all these different watch magazines out there. And I want you to know this is something that Joaquin, to you, Kino, to me, did a research, and not one single watch magazine has done an article on the subject of, you know, Rolex being accused of producing a lot of their watches and parts and bracelets and casing and bezels and movements in China. Not one single, no hay ni uno, ¿verdad? Ni uno. Not one watch magazine has done just a small little article, you know? Not a page, not a half a page, just something very petite. Not one person has done any articles. Believe me, the person that would dare to do an article on Rolex, finito, finito. The only people, I want you to know this, the only people that you're going to hear reporting on this subject is people like myself with this little Mickey Mouse channel that I have, you know, and the other channels that have fake subscribers, you know, with 700,000 subscribers and they only get 5,000 views, you know, they do that too. They're talking about it, but nobody else is talking about that. Remember, Rolex can do whatever they want. Rolex is like, you remember when you had a girlfriend or you had a boyfriend, because maybe we have females here in this channel too, and your boyfriend caught you, or they told your boyfriend you were cheating on him, or vice versa, you know, they told you that your boyfriend was cheating on you, and, you know, and you approach him and you ask him that, you know, hey, I heard you were cheating on me with such and such person. And the first thing the gentleman said, or the female said, was, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. You got the wrong person. I didn't do that. No, but they told me you were in the carnival over there, and you know, you were riding the little merry-go-round with your girlfriend, eating popcorn, chewies, you know, and chocolate and cotton candy. That wasn't me. That wasn't me. And people, the more you tell them that wasn't me, you know, en la mente, our brain cells, you know, sometimes we're hoping that it's not like that, that it is not you, you know, it's not you, it's not her, it's not him. We're hoping for that. And people believe that, you know, they're telling him, you know, hey, he was in such time in this place. He had a kind of a brownish purple shirt on, black glasses, white hair, describing to the T. And you know, and he says that wasn't me. Well, Rolex is doing the same thing, you know. I'm not gonna, you know, address the subject. I'm not gonna say anything about this, because the more you talk about it, then you are putting yourself in the predicament that it is true, that it's you. And this is what's happening, you know. People are just saying that wasn't me, that wasn't me, and that wasn't me, and they're gonna die with that wasn't me. There's people even this is how us humans are. They even have a picture of you, a picture with you with the girl, or they have a picture of the girl with the guy, and they even show it to the person and say, well, look, that's you right here in the picture. And they say, that's not me. That's not me. And this is the way we have all been trained to react to all this news. That's not true. Listen, I made that video, and you won't believe some people left me comments telling me, how do you know about this? He's asking me, how do you know about this? So I'm going back to what I'm telling you. The girl has proved that you were walking around in the theater, by the little mall with a girl with a picture, and he's saying that wasn't me. And the same thing with this person that's looking at my video. He's asking me, so how do you know this? I'm showing him the pictures, I'm showing him articles, and he's still asking me, how do I know? Because this is the way us humans are. We don't want to believe nothing. We don't want to believe. Listen, to me, the reason that I'm still talking about this subject of China is because it's going on their fifth week. Going on their fifth week, and it's still going on. And they're still giving it. I believe it's more stronger now than when it first started. When it first started, it was more hush hush. Now it's bombarding every single minute. I'm getting an alert. I'm getting an alert. You understand me what I'm trying to say, Damon? You were walking one day in the park, when you were a young kid, and they say, yeah, we saw you in the park with that blonde girl, and you said, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. And the same thing was with these people leaving me messages. How do you know? And then they're telling me now, this is something that Rolex did in the 60s, and collectors are all aware about it. Yeah, they are now that I did the video. But you didn't do the video. Why didn't you do the video? If you would have done the video, then, people would have found out about this. But I did the video for you guys. I talked about this because you guys need to know about this. In all honesty, I don't think many people knew about that. And I still don't think many people know about it because I'm getting a lot of, thank you very much for doing what you did. I knew you knew about this, but I didn't know why you were taking so long. And I explained to you why. Because I thought this was going to blow, it was going to blow over. But it hasn't blown over. It hasn't. It hasn't. And I don't think, to be honest, for one moment, even though I did that video, it's not gonna do nothing because people are skip popping around through life, with chewy in the mouth, with cotton candy walking around. You understand? That's all they want. This, it doesn't matter. But at least I did my part. I told my 12, organic watch channel subscribers, they're looking at this. I told you guys, listen, that's a lie. Rolex watches are not made 100% Swiss made. They're not. They're not. Not back then and not today. One more time, not back then and not today. And I told you the other day, it doesn't matter to me if it says made in Japan, made in Mexico, made in England, made in the USA, made in Venezuela. It doesn't bother me. So why is it going to bother me if it says in the bracelet, and the clasp, made in China? It's not going to bother me. It's not. It's something that, we have made a taboo about China. But, us lambones, because we're lambones, 90%, if you look around your house right now, in your car, 90% is from China. So I don't know what's the big hoopla about, I don't understand. But for some reason, Rolex has not approached this situation, has not sent anybody to, address the situation. None of their ambassadors, none of the influencers, none of their athletes, what's his name? Roger, that tennis guy, listen, they had a big thing going on. If you guys don't know about this, they had a big marketing going on with the land dweller, with the watch that's supposed to be the next, in the Rolex lineup, like a Patek Philippe, like an AP. And it's, shh, don't talk about it. We're in trouble right now. Things are not good, don't talk about it. And if you think about it, when they first released these watches, yes, they showed the tennis player walking around with the watch in his wrist. But that was, I don't know, I think it was in April, right? April, we're already in June. We are in June, I believe, going on the second week of June. And nobody, not one single influencer has talked about the subject. It's like taboo, es como que tiene peste, no good. So again, I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Did you guys enjoy the video? Do you feel more comfortable seeing now the stampings of where these, bracelets and clasps were produced? Do you feel a little bit better? Will you be able to have a better conversation now with your watch dealers, your ADs and all that good stuff? Because these people like that. These people want to see smart people. They don't want to see dodo birds. They want to see smart people, so they can, say, this man knows what he's talking about. This man knows that back in the 60s and 70s, into the 80s, into the mid 80s, Joski's made all the bracelets for Rolex, As a matter of fact, I believe that Joski's made better bracelets than the ones that came from Swiss. The Swiss made, they were better. And I'm just telling you all this because you might be thinking that, I did something. Nah, nothing's gonna happen, I could have still saved this for another year to tell you about it. Because it's not. People don't care. People really don't care. They don't, if they don't hear it from ABC, CBS, or NBC, or CNN, or Fox, then, because they're like sheeps. Son ovejas, they're sheeps. They can't themselves get their own news, develop their own news en la chola, en la cabeza. ¿Tú me entiendes? You understand me? They can't. So they have to be told, well, listen, this is this, It's like I told a friend of mine, changing the conversation for a second. He was telling me, what do you think about the situation that's happening with the political views, with the president, with the guy with the cars? Listen to me, guys. That's all a show. That's all stage, man. That's all stage. That's what I'm going to tell you. That's all stage. That's all stage, papi. These people are unbelievable, man. These people, the owners of the world, I need with you guys, a couple of months to give you therapy about this. A couple of months I need to give you knowledge on that subject. It's unbelievable, You're never going to understand that. It's all a sketch. And everybody falls for it, until you have somebody that teaches you as you're growing up in life, and they're teaching you what it is, and then you learn, and to you it's easy. It doesn't matter to me red or blue, blue or red. It doesn't matter to me. Es la misma mierda con diferente peste, It's the same shit with different smell. That's all. That's all, ladies and gentlemen, right? So I wanted you guys to know that I always keep my end of the bargain. I told you that I would do this video with all the pictures, so you guys can see it. And it's on your library, in the library. So whenever you want to go back, or you want to show it to Joey, or to Bobby, or to Tommy, you say, come here, I'm going to show you something. Boom, you put it on. No, man, Rolex is 100% Swiss made. Always Rolex is 100% made. Oh, really? Yes, always, never. Everything is made over there in Switzerland, Geneva. All that. It's over there. It's over there. And you go and you show them the Kino, the Kino video. He's the owner. Sweet Cake Kino, Joaquin to you, Kino to me, is the owner of this channel. ¿Viste que lo dije? ¿Viste que lo dije? He's the owner of this channel, and I am the voice. Kino's my manager. He's my manager. Just to let you know, Kino is my manager. So I wanted you guys to know this because, if we're gonna be in this team, I got a organic subscriber. He calls it the army. If we're going to be in this army together, we have to have rules, We have to have rules in this channel, and not suggestions, rules, and so it's true. This is, he calls it the army, so I'm going to oblige to what he says, and we have to, the rules cannot be broken in this channel. I had a couple of subscribers already. Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. You gotta take a look at the movie. You tell him, Dennis. Mr. Dennis is a subscriber of ours. Mr. Dennis is a subscriber of this channel, loyal subscriber. And Mr. Dennis told me that he saw the movie Network, and that you know what? I'm gonna let him describe it to you with a message, because I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I believe that he liked it very much and he learned something. And I believe he said that it's what's happening right now in our country. You know, that's what he said. So his name is Mr. Dennis. He's one of our loyal Army subscribers, as Mr. Damon says it. You know, Damon again tells me, you know, Damon is unbelievable. You know, he's an unbelievable gentleman. And he tells me always, he says to me, Juan, you need to keep it simple for the Army people. He tells me that. Unbelievable, that Damon, you know? He tells me that I got to keep it simple. I don't know why he tells me that always, to keep it simple. I say to myself, you know, these people are very bright. You know, they're very smart. You know, they're very bright people, you know? Ilustres. Gente con la chola grande, you know? Einstein. Like, sweet Kino. You know? Smart people we have on this channel, you know? So he always tells me to keep it simple, but sometimes I get a little, you know? But you gotta watch the movie Network, you know? There's a lot of movies out there, you know? There's a lot of movies out there that you should see, but you know, we want to keep it simple. You know, I think Network, it'll record in your head. You know, like network, like a network channel, network news. You know, it'll keep you going. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, these people, when you don't know much about this, you're walking freely through life. When you don't know what's happening around your world, you know, if the eggs cost $11 a dozen, you know, if gasoline costs $4 a gallon, you pump it and you're just walking around. But the day you start putting the dots together, it's a scary thing. And I'm being serious now. It's a scary thing. While you don't know what's happening, just keep hopping around through life, going to the mall and buying a pair of Michael Air Jordans, you know, for $250, you know? You understand me? You know, people that make, you know, you're making $500 a week and you're buying a pair of Air Jordans for $250. Papi, ¿dónde está el cerebro? Where is it at? You know, they got you as slaves, you know? I mean, I'm just trying to explain to, you know, something, you know? I'm trying to make sense to the... And they keep on dumbing down on us, and I can't. If I can save a couple of dumb skis, if I can keep a couple of dumb skis, you know, from getting, you know, fleeced and flim flam, I'm gonna do it. You know, I'm gonna help you guys out, because they want me to not say these things. Look, guys, it's so crazy that I knew today, when I did that video, and it wasn't a live video, it's a video I recorded myself like a movie star, you know, like Jim Carrey, you know, unbelievable. I stood right here and I just said da 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 da. But I knew, ladies and gentlemen, listen and learn. I knew that if you guys think that Big Brother is not watching you, I mean, I know you guys don't know what Big Brother is, but if you guys, and I'm not going to tell you what it is either, because I need a whole line, you know, to explain to you all this. But if you think Big Brother's not watching you, man, he's watching every step you take, every step. So I threw that video out, and I didn't do it like I put it out at 10 a.m. in the morning and it's going to come out at 2 o'clock. I finished it, and right away I edited, blah, blah, blah. And I put it out 30 minutes, you know, in 30 minutes it's gonna come out. If you received the news that I'm coming up with a video, you were lucky. And if you didn't, nothing happened, right? But I knew right away when I would put that video out that this was gonna happen to me. Block, block, block. I couldn't even hear my voice. I couldn't even hear my voice. I couldn't, nothing, you know? And so I had to go to another channel to look at it so I can hear myself, but I couldn't hear nothing. And that's how it is. So when by me doing this, I'm not putting myself in no kind of jeopardy, but it's what it is. They don't want you to know the truth. They don't want you. Listen, Rolex work with all these different countries, and Rolex will never admit. Remember the analogy I gave you of the picture of they got you in the mall, the mall going to the theater with chewy and popcorn and cotton candy, and you said that wasn't me. It's the same thing with Rolex. I never did nothing in Mexico. I never did nothing in Japan. I never did nothing in USA. I never did nothing in Venezuela. And that's how it is. You deny it to the end. It's life, guys. It's the truth. You deny it. You deny it, and it will come out, hey, he never admitted to it. He never admitted to it. I mean, it's what it is. It's what it is. And you guys have to, master that already and let it open your horizons, because there's a lot of things out there that, we leave this world. We leave this world and we never knew how this world really, ran, how it really was, operated, full power, downshift, we don't know. We don't know what's going on. But I can tell you right now that this is the Truman Network show. The Truman. That guy, Carrie, Carrie, that guy that did Truman. He did The Mask and all those movies. He got blackballed from Hollywood. I don't know if you know that, but he got blackballed from Hollywood. Because when you don't obey your masters, they give you this. Deep, they give it to you. All right? All right, guys, I'm going to give you a little watch market update for a couple of subscribers that they need to have these numbers because they want to buy some watches. They want to buy watches. So we're going to help them out, because this is the watch market update show. The #1 watch market update show in the world, chosen by no other than Fudinki, right? You got to stop being cow tippers and possum kickers. You got to stop that, ladies and gentlemen. Stop being like that. Stop it. Ladies and gentlemen, our first watch is an unbelievable looking time machine. It's an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. Unbelievable, this watch. Perpetual calendar, ultra thin, blue dial. It has this beautiful material that they call titanium. Unbelievable. 41 millimeter. Reference number 26586 Ti. 200 pieces around the world. 200 pieces around the world. This watch at one moment was over $300,000, ladies and gentlemen. Scout's Honor, over $300,000. La situación está jodida, no hay dinero, muchacho. No hay dinero por la calle. There's no money out there, papa. There's no money. No matter what they keep on telling you that the watch market is up and running, is to get you. That's all. It's to get you. And this watch at one moment was over $300,000. That special material, titanium, unbelievable, ultra thin, blue dial, perpetual calendar. Reference number one more time, just in case you want to look it up, 26586 Ti, 200 pieces around the world. This is just for mammoth, colossal, triple blue whales, triple blue whales, unbelievable, over $300,000. I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, for this brand new looking time machine, you do whatever you want with your money. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch. And I mean this. Don't pay for that watch more than $174,000. And ¡Dam! Aguántame para aquí, no. Aguántame para atrás. Aguántame para atrás. ¡Dam! ¡Dam! You do whatever you want at the watch market date. You do whatever you want. I'm the #1 watch market update show in the world. They respect this show. They respect this show. You do whatever you want. Our next watch is an unbelievable looking time machine, ladies and gentlemen. It's an unbelievable. It's a Rolex Rose Gold Oyster Flex. You know, Yachtmaster. 126655. Oyster Flex with a pave dial, with a black ceramic bezel, 40 millimeter. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. A pave dial. You're not going to believe this, ladies and gentlemen. You're not going to believe this, but this watch is dead in water. Dead in water. You said it. I said it, and you said it at the same time, Damon. Excuse me, Dennis. You said it at the same time, Dennis. Unbelievable. It's dead in water, and I'm going to tell you this so you don't make a mistake. You don't make a mistake. Don't pay for that Yachtmaster. Whatever you do, don't pay. Si quiero, se lo voy a decir la verdad. ¿Por qué? Don't pay for that watch. Don't pay. He's dead in water. He's dead in a backyard, smelly, septic tank. Smelly. Don't pay for that watch. Whatever you do, don't pay more than $39,000. And done. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Our next watch is an unbelievable time machine, ladies and gentlemen. All these watches are for subscribers that are looking to buy these watches. And I'm not going to let these dealers flim-flam you and fleece you out of your children's tuition money. Our next watch is a Rolex Yellow Gold 50th anniversary green dial GMT. Unbelievable. 50th anniversary, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable. You know, this watch, at one moment, they were selling it in the Corona era for $75,000. $80,000. There were people just giving away their children's tuition money away, giving away their 401k, and started picking on their wives' 401k. Unbelievable. Retail price of this watch, ladies and gentlemen, retail price is $33,250. And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't get it full set, you don't want it. You want it full set. Use slider condition material, but you want it full set. Full set. And ladies and gentlemen, this is an anniversary. 50th year anniversary. Collector's dream. Collector's choice. Collector's grade. Collector's unit. I'm pleading with you guys to stop being dumbskis. I'm pleading with you guys to stop being dumbskis. And ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that Rolex Yellow Gold GMT green dial 50th anniversary. Don't pay more. Here it goes, ladies and gentlemen. Here it goes. Don't pay more. My God, Mr. Donald said 31, and I'm going to say don't pay more than $32,000. And ¡Dam! ¡Dam! Se jodió esto. ¡Dam! Se jodió. Se jodió. Gino, no te metas en esto. No te metas, Gino. No te metas. Estoy en serio hoy. No te metas, Gino. No te metas, te puedes ir. No te metas. No te metas. Mr. Dona me dijo a mí 31. El tipo sabe. Mr. Dona, you're a smart man. Mr. Dona me dijo a mí 31. Mr. Dona. La Dona. Unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch. You're not going to believe this, ladies and gentlemen. You're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this. Our next watch is a Rolex white gold 40 millimeter GMT. Reference number 1267BLRO. Meteorite dial. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleading with you people. The meteorite dials are dead in a backyard pool and floating face down like this. Dead. 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 You gotta be careful with those meteorite dials. Stinky. I know what I'm telling you. Here it goes. GMT. 40 millimeter. Retail price is $45,200. People are embarrassed. Look at Mr. Donut saying 42. He's on fire. It's not the number, but he's on fire. You know? You know what that means. You know what that means, Dr. Evil. That's right. That's what it means. This deep, 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 deep. You know what it means. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, because Mr. Donut said 42. And I got to say the truth in this channel. Because we can't lie here. We got to say the truth. You know, Scout's honor. We got to say the truth. Don't pay for that watch. And I mean, don't pay for that watch. For that white gold meteorite dial GMT, Pepsi. Don't pay for it more than $45,000 and dumping. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want, ladies and gentlemen. A gentleman asked me about this watch. And you might be thinking, you have this watch too, Mr. Nieves. I do have it. I do have it. And at one moment, that watch was costing $35,000. $35,000. In that Corona era, it was costing $35,000. That watch was so hot at one moment that Sotheby's made an auction on that watch. We're talking about the Rolex stainless steel green ceramic bezel, green dial. We're talking about the Hawk, you know, the strong guy, you know, the Hawk. Listen to me, sir. You wanted to know about this watch. We're talking about a used, slighted condition material watch, but it must have everything. Because you want to buy it. And I'm going to give you the price. Absolutely. Absolutely, Dr. Evil. You are on point. It is dropping faster than Billy Boy's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse. Absolutely. But here it goes. Because this is the #1 watch market update show in the world. There's nobody better than this channel. Nobody. And what do I get for doing this? This I get. Deep, deep, deep. It's all right. It's all right. Reference number 116610LV. Retail price $9,050. That's what I paid for that watch. That's what I paid for that watch when I went to Barbados. Barbados used to have the whole line of Rolex. They don't have it no more. Gone. I've told you already, 2 ADs that I work with, that I will buy my watches with, they're gone. 1 Antigua, 2 Barbados. I'm going to go to number 3 soon. And I paid for that watch $9,050. And ladies and gentlemen, you do yourself a favor. Don't pay for that Rolex more than $16,200. And bang! You do whatever you want. Bang! You do whatever you want. And let me tell you, I'm being kind enough telling you $16,200. But you want me to tell you the truth, Mr. Collector? Don't pay more than $15,500. All right? There's your number. Don't pay more than $15,500. Don't pay more than $15,500. I'm going to stay in the subject of the Rolex Submariner green dial, green ceramic bezel. I am. A gentleman tells me that he buys a Rolex Submariner Hawk, green bezel, green dial, from a Rolex CPO program. Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to this. And if you don't believe me, do your own research. Don't listen to me. Don't believe me. Don't believe me. But do your own research. But he paid for it. Ready for this? He paid for that watch $30,000. 30,000 cabillas. $30,000 plus your Uncle Sam's taxes. Who in their right mind gives away money like that? Come on, guys. You're supposed to clap for me, man. That guy's for real, man. Look what he's telling. How did this person not, get connected to this channel? He spent it $30,000. And he looked at it, and it happens, $30,000. And he sold the watch. He sold the watch. Listen to how much he sold it for. He sold the watch. You want to hear for how much he sold it, or I shouldn't say? He sold the watch. I mean, I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. But he sold the watch for $13,900. He told me he sold it with the guarantee card. The guarantee card. I have the pictures and everything. I was in shock. And what can I tell somebody that spent $30,000 on a watch plus taxes and sold it for $13,900? And I'm seeing the person. I see the card, the white guarantee card plus the real green guarantee card, right? Listen to me, guys. This is crazy. And I saw it. I said, wow, man. Guess how much the Muppet Boiler Room secondary gray watch market channel dealer is asking for that watch. Put it up there. Okay? That's what it equals. Rolex CPO equals logo. Nobody has an idea? You know what he's asking? Which he's another mashugana. He's crazy. You know how much he's selling it for? He's selling it for $19,000. $19,000. It's crazy. You guys just skip hopping around through life like bunny rabbits. Just giving money away. And I'm saying, how can you give money away? I mean, let me tell you something, guys, man. For you to take away from me $15,000, you got to be the Great Gazoo. The Great Gazoo from the Flintstones. The Great Gazoo. He would sit here on Fred's shoulder, and he was unbelievable, that Gazoo. I always, when I was a young kid, I always wanted to have a Gazoo. Unbelievable, but true. I'm being honest, ladies and gentlemen. I'm being honest. Our next watch is another watch that this watch, I must tell you, I bought it for my son. I bought it for my son like around, you see, it was in September. I bought it for September. I bought it in September for my son. I went to the Bahamas, and one of my ADs told me that they had a watch for me, and I picked it up. It was the Rolex Submariner. I call it the froggy legs, It has a black dial with a green ceramic bezel, 41 millimeter, the new one, the 41. And that watch, as you know, it's the reference number 126610LV, and it has a retail price of $10,900. And when it first came out, it went all the way up. It went all the way up. Yeah, the Great Gazoo, Damon. You know what I'm saying? It's unbelievable. Didn't you have a Great Gazoo when you were a kid too? I mean, I love Great Gazoo. He was the best. This watch, that woman, went all the way up to $21,000, and it started going down quickly because the Corona era was almost finishing, and it was going away. And I'm gonna tell you, if you're looking, Mr. Donut saying $13,000, and he's pretty much on point. Look, I'm just a little lower than you are. A little lower than you, Mr. Donut. And I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that watch for that froggy legs. I call it the froggy legs. Froggy legs. Don't pay for that watch. And I'm talking about full set. If it ain't full set, you don't want it. Don't pay for that watch more than $12,500 in it. Bam! All right? You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want, ladies and gentlemen. Our next watch, it's an unbelievable watch. It's an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak stainless steel 41 millimeter chrono. Reference number 26240. Listen to this. This is a blue dial. Listen to this carefully so you learn. In 2022, AP started becoming like Hublot. Everything was a special edition, collector's edition. Spider-Man, Superman, Black Panther, all those things like Hublot, Spider-Man, unbelievable. But true, you know, they started making all these watches. And then on top of that, in 2022, they made the 50th anniversary on the rotor. You know, on the rotor, 50th anniversary. Unbelievable. And let me tell you, that stainless steel chrono, you know, stainless steel chrono with a blue dial, reference number 26240 in the year 2022. Papi, this watch went all the way up to $200,000. $200,000, Papa. 200,000 maracas. You know, maracas. $200,000 in the 50th anniversary. Listen, where there's good is good. This is a brutal time machine. Brutal. And ladies and gentlemen, I gotta tell you, I gotta tell you the truth. I'm not even gonna get into retail price. None of that. It's $37,000. 37, but from 200 to what I'm gonna tell you today, don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want. Tell your friends about this. Tell your friends, because they're dodo birds. They'll give it away. Like the guy with the CPO program with the Rolex Hawk, he paid $30,000 for it. Don't pay for that watch more than $51,000 and that, okay? Don't pay, and it's dropping. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want that blue stainless steel 50th anniversary 26240, you wait. You wait until July, August. You get them in their knees. You get them in their knees. When they're in their knees, you get them. You don't feel shy. You lowball them. And you laugh in their face. You use my name. Listen to me. Before I tell you the story, let me just say thank you very much, Mr. P, for that super chat. I really, really, really appreciate that. Thank you very much, Mr. P. Thank you very, 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 very much. I have a subscriber of mine that he buys, or he did buy from that gentleman, Deputy Boxing Black Eyes, over there, from Pennsylvania, I don't know, down there, over there. And he buys from that guy. This is the true story. And if he's here today, maybe he'll write something up there and you can see what I say is the way it is. And he said he went to buy. He says, I have to admit something. I have to admit something to you, Juan. And I said, tell me, sir. He said, I purchased from Deputy Boxing Black Eye. I said, okay. But you know what, Mr. Juan? I said, what? He said, I told him the price from you. I said, for real? He said, for real. And what happened? He respected your price. Maybe he won't put nothing up because, people sometimes are very private. But I tell you the way things are, all right? When you want to use my prices, you use my name. Don't feel bad. And they will respect and honor my prices. Just to let you know. No sean lambones. Ustedes tienen que parar de ser palomos. Ustedes son un bonche de palomos. You guys are walking around the cornfields, possum kicking and cow tipping. And you cannot continue doing that. Unbelievable. You saw that guy, what he wrote? Look what that guy wrote right now. You know what he wrote. I'm telling you how it is. You do whatever you want. You read what he said. That guy right there. His name is Mr. Damon. Read what he said. That's all I got to say. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is an unbelievable watch. It's a Rolex stainless steel Panda. But ladies and gentlemen, you might be thinking, you said Panda already. No. This is the new Panda. The new reference number. The 126500LN Daytona Panda. Ladies and gentlemen, don't pay. Don't pay for this beautiful Panda. Black ceramic bezel, white dial, with the black eyes, black eyes. Don't pay for that watch, ladies and gentlemen. You do whatever you want. But don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want. You use my prices and they will honor it. Don't pay for that watch more than $28,500. You do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, sometimes I got to tell you things in slow motion because I want you to understand this. The next watch that I'm going to talk to you about, this is Kino, el Rolex del Daytona, rose gold. Ese es. I'm going to talk to you about a watch that, let me tell you, there was people out there that we would look at each other and go, wow, man. It's a beautiful, let's say it's a beautiful watch, guys. And you had to be very, very, very well connected in your AD to get, you know, allocated this watch. Let's be honest about all these things. And probably the watch is the retail price, $60,000, taxes and everything, right? We're talking about the Rolex Daytona Rose Gold, fully rose gold, bracelet, casing, and all that good stuff, with a meteorite dial. And ladies and gentlemen, in the Corona era, these flim-flammers and hucksters and hoodwinkers were charging for this price. They would buy it at 90, then 130, 170, like that, until it got to a number that it was unbelievable. This watch was being paraded. It was being paraded like in the New York, you know, Puerto Rican Day Parade. You know, I don't know if you guys know this, but today was the New York Puerto Rican Day Parade, you know, in Fifth Avenue, you know. El orgullo puertorriqueño, coño, puñeta. So, you know, they were parading this watch all over the place, and they were asking for this watch. It's like, you know, I don't know if I have right now subscribers that know about this, but this watch was being paraded at a number of $285,000. $285,000, and a lot of people sitting in their Bentley, wire, you know, sitting in their Ferrari Italia, wire, just giving their money away, you know. And fast forward to 2025, and I'm gonna tell you, ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that beautiful. It's a beautiful watch, ladies and gentlemen. There's no doubt, it's a beautiful watch, but you need to stay away from meteorite dials right now. You got to stay away from that. Stay away from meteorite dials because that watch is still dropping. Even when I tell you the number, I'm going to tell you that watch is still dropping. Don't pay for that watch. And I mean, don't pay for that watch, for that 116505 meteorite dial rose gold Daytona. Don't pay for it more than $86,000. And I'm going to be kind to all of you. Okay? Be careful. It's dropping faster than Billy Boy's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse. Look at that. What Mr. Donut said, 87. This gentleman, you know, Mr. Donut knows his numbers. He's not playing around. He knows his numbers. He's missing everything by a grand. You know, a grand, 2 grands. That's what he's missing. And that's very good. I'm very happy to know that you are on target, that nobody can flim-flam you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a watch, which is my last watch of the night. And this is an AP Royal Oak Offshore. You know, pink gold. They call this the brick. You know, this is the one that's fully rose gold. It's a brick. It's a monster. I don't know. It weighs like 7 pounds. You know, something stupid. I exaggerated with the 7 pounds. But you know what I'm trying to say. It's just, you're like this and your hand will go down. It's so heavy, right? And this watch went all the way up, man. It hit $100,000. You know, offshore watches are dead as it is, but this one, for some reason, you know, rose gold, a brick, you know, chrono, it was up there. It was at the $100,000. And ladies and gentlemen, don't let them fool you. Don't let them fool you. And don't pay for that AP Royal Oak Offshore. I'm going to give you the reference number, 26470OR. OR. Does anybody know what I'm going to say? This is the last watch. All of you, put a price up there. What price am I going to tell you don't pay for that brick? Rose gold, chronograph. And it's a 2020, the year 2020. That's pretty new, 5 years old, it's pretty new. No takers? Mr. Donut, you blew it there big time. Like, you're off like a lot of money. You blew it. You blew it there. One more, and we're out of here. One more price. I told you it was lower. No? Nobody wants to take it? Here it goes. Don't pay for that AP Royal Oak Offshore Rose Gold chronograph. Don't pay for that watch. Pete, don't pay for that watch. Don't pay for it more than $61,000 and dead. All right, guys? Well, guys, that's my show for the evening. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. It's always fun sharing time with you guys. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you for all being here. All right, guys? I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. You guys being here with me today is fun. It really is. I'm going to go take a look-see now at the basketball game and relax and chill. All right? Don't forget to subscribe to this wonderful watch channel. Like, share, and all that good stuff. And we also have a private watch group under my name, Juan Nieves, in Facebook. And maybe, ask to, get involved in the channel, in the private group. And maybe Sweet Kid Kino and Samantha will let you in, guys. Anyway, guys, like me and Sweet Kid Kino will say every other day or every day, take care and brush your hair. Take care, guys. Ciao, muchachos.